This is the callback tutorial. Using the callback work list will not only almost eliminate the need for additional lists and notes that are used as reminders to contact patients for a variety of reasons, including but not limited to billing calls, new patient post-visit checkup calls, payment reminders, scheduling calls, surveys, and follow-up procedure or treatment calls. We will detail automatic callback items for patients who are no-shows for scheduled appointments, when and how to manually add callback items, and how to use callback work lists to ensure nothing falls through the cracks during a busy day. Located at the bottom of the Business tab is the callback work list. Before we discuss how to work the list, let's go over how items are added to the list. If a patient is not checked into the office within 15 minutes of their scheduled appointment, they will automatically be added to the callback work list for rescheduling. You will notice that the appointment turns red to signify a no-show. Callbacks can be manually added through the patient information screen. Under the Callback tab. To manually add a callback with this method, click the green plus icon here. Select the type from the drop-down list. The type is primarily used to sort the resulting list to determine exactly who should be making the specific call. Billing and payments calls are generally handled by the billing staff. The practitioner usually handles the new patient and treatment calls. Scheduling and survey issues are normally completed by the front office. Add any specific notes for this specific callback. In this new patient callback example, I added some notes for the practitioner to remind them who the patient was. Fell off horse, red hair, 5 kids. So when the practitioner calls back this patient to check on them after their first adjustment, the practitioner doesn't need to have the chart handy. They will have the patient's name, address, and the notes to be effective. Note: the new patient callbacks are generally created after the patient's demographic information, insurance, and episode are created. Click on the Save icon and the new callback is sent to the work list. Click the Edit button if you wish to change the notes, status, or reason for the callback. You may also delete the callback you just created by clicking the Recycle Bin icon. Your practice's goal should be to have the callback list completed daily at a minimum. The callback work list can be printed by clicking this icon here. This is primarily used by practitioners who like to call their new patients while driving home from the office. Note: if you choose to work the callbacks from the printed list, you will still need to mark them as completed later. The work list can be sorted by patient, callback type, and the last time the callback item was updated. Simply click on any one of these and the list will reorganize itself. Notice that if the callback item has the word new as the last update, nobody has attempted to work this item yet. Your goal should be to either have the list empty or to have today's date on all of the callback items. Click on the gray button to the left of the patient's name to process a callback item. This brings up the callback process for the specific callback item. Notice that all of the patient's primary contact information is clearly listed first. The primary phone number is here. If you have gathered their email address, it is displayed here. The callback type and notes are also clearly displayed here. You can edit the callback type, notes, and status, or delete the callback here. Notice that the system tells you exactly when and who created the callback. If you need to access the patient's information screen for any reason, simply click this box here, and you have complete access to all of the patient's information without having to leave the process screen. Click the Insurance button here to quickly access their insurance information. Since most callbacks involve rescheduling, you can access the schedule by clicking here. Use the lower schedule to schedule the patient. You have 3 choices at the bottom of the process. If you open this callback item just to view the details, but not to work it, or if you were interrupted before you had a chance to work it, click Close Window and the callback item will show on the list as if nothing happened. This is really a binary choice here. If you satisfy the callback's intent, or if the patient tells you to never call back again, either way, the callback is complete and it needs to come off the list. Click here and the item is removed from the work list. Finally, if you attempted to satisfy this callback item but left a message or need to call on this issue again, make a note above to reflect your efforts and select Callback Incomplete. Notice that the last update reflects today. This lets everybody in the practice know when an attempt was last made. Remember, if you accidentally create a callback either by manual creation in the patient information screen or by not checking the patient in within 15 minutes of their scheduled appointment, you can always delete it later.